Lovers and friends, a warm welcome to Financial Freedom with Honeybee. My name is Malanda Hanabe, and on today's episode, I want to share with you guys how I lost 72% of my deposit when I was trying to buy a property. Please note that anything that I say in this channel doesn't constitute financial advice. If you are looking for the services of a financial advisor, please be in contact with a qualified financial advisor. So I'm not gonna waste time, I'll just jump right into it. So when I was looking into buying a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, I looked at this 2-bedroom, 1-bath that was very nice. It was also being built from scratch, so they already had completed some sections where people had already moved in, so they also had a property for show, so we would go for viewing. So I went for viewing and I liked the modern finishes of the property. The bathroom had a bathtub, a shower, a toilet, and also a huge space where you can put your laundry basket. And then the bedrooms were not that spacious, but they were good sizes with a queen bed and side tables, and you can still have a bit of space where you can put your anything that you like to put on your bedroom, a small chair or whatever you'd like to put. So for me, it was very nice. The kitchen was also modernly finished, so everything was according to the standard that I wanted. So I went and viewed. After viewing, I also liked that property, and I was ready to sign the OTP, or the offer to purchase that property. So what they said to me is that they wanted a 10,000 deposit while I was still looking for bond registrations and basically looking for bond to be able to bond that house, because I didn't have the money to buy it cash. So they wanted that deposit so that they can keep that unit for me. So I paid that deposit, which was 10,000 rand, and then after paying the deposit, I was able to go and look for bonds. So I contacted a bond originator, which is Uber, and they were able to go and look for different offers from different banks and came with those different offers. So the reason I used Uber, or the reason I used a bond originator, is because every time you go to a bank to apply for a bond, what they do is they'll do a hard search on your credit profile, and that hard search stays on your credit profile. So if you go to ABSA today, and then tomorrow or after 3 days you go to Standard Bank, or you go to a different banks, these different banks, they'll be able to see those hard searches that the other banks have done on your portfolio. And what that does is it will look like you are reliant on debt. So you are supposed to have one hard search on your credit profile for 6 months, and once you have 2, then if you have a credit profile, let's say I use ClearScore to check. On ClearScore, it will show that please improve on these hard searches because they're not good for your credit score, right? So I used Uber so that they can look at all these offers at the same time and give me the offers. Obviously, I'll still have those hard searches onto my credit profile from different banks, but it will be hard searches at the same time, like unlike having this hard search today and another hard search, and obviously those people will be able to see all these hard searches that the other people have already done, right? So I chose Uber for that, and yeah, I got the best interest price, or the best interest with FNB, and I chose that as the bond that will bond this house. So after I've sent the OTP, sent what I've chose, and everything was ready to start rolling, right? But when I was speaking to the agent, she told me that the occupational date for us to move into that property was the 1st of May, which was a very good date because my lease from where I was renting was expiring end of May. So I was like, that is perfect. We're gonna move in before the lease end, and I can get to cancel the lease and keep it moving. So everything was set, and in April, we received an email saying that the occupational date has changed to the 1st of August, right? So I had to basically prolong my lease by 5 months so that I'll give them enough time, or it gives me enough time that if they change again by a month or so, I'll still cover. Because if I change from April by 5 months, I think that I was supposed to move in end of September. So it was giving me sufficient time to get this bond registration thing sorted, or to get this property registered in my name. So while we were waiting for the 1st of August, they kept on sending us emails to pay for the registration fee for the lawyers. So I was like, I'm not gonna pay that fee. I didn't respond, I just kept quiet. I'm not gonna pay for that fee until I hear from the bank, because what the bank is supposed to do is, once the developer is done with the building of this property, they're supposed to go and check this property if it's accurate, is what we said it is, and from there they'll be ready to send the money from themselves to the developer. So until once they do that, after they do the inspection, I'll be able to pay for the bond origination at the bank, and they can send that money to the developer. Once the developer has the money, I can pay for the registration fee, or I can basically pay for the registration fee plus the bond origination fee at the same time, right? So I was waiting for the bank to contact me, which they haven't contacted me. So I was like, I'm not gonna pay more money until I'm certain that they are started with the registration process. They cannot register something that is not complete. They have to complete it first, and then they can start with the registration process. So I waited, and mid-August we got another, mid-June, no, mid-July, I got another communication that now the occupational date is no longer the 1st of August, it's gonna be the 1st of October. So from there I was like, nope, I am canceling this deal. So I asked for cancellation forms, and I started canceling this property. I sent the cancellation forms back, and I thought by next week Friday I should be having my funds in the bank. Did I get the funds? It took me 2 months to receive those funds back, and at the time I was already sending them threatening messages that I'm gonna call my lawyer, I'm gonna take them to court. I was already threatening them so that I can get my money back, because I was not getting any communication from them. And I was told that cancelling a property takes time. I don't know how does that take time, because it was not registered in my name yet, so I just didn't understand. But yeah, it took 2 months to get my money back, finally get the money back, and there was those deductions where I ended up with 2.7 from the 10,000 rand that I paid. And I was kind of glad that those registration fee that they were asking for, I didn't pay, because if I had paid, I think that would have bought them time, or that would have bought them my patience, because now they would have deducted monies from more money that I would have sent to them, other than the 10,000 that they already had. And on the 10,000, I was asking myself, what about the interest that they've earned from that 10,000? Because they didn't account for it on that statement. But I was like, you know what, let me just keep quiet. I'm tired with those people, as long as I'm out of here, because they just kept on changing the occupational date. And what I've learned from all this is that once you sign the OTP, regardless of what the developer is doing, all the costs, they will come to you as a buyer. So I didn't see any cost that they said the developer will pay for it, because obviously these lawyers are the lawyers for the developer. So the developer, they are still making money just because you have signed an OTP. And the agent also wants their deposit, because for them, once you sign the OTP, they've made basically the purchase has been done. You have already purchased that property, so they've already made a sale from their side. So they still want their money. And ensure that your OTP has a occupational date. So my OTP didn't have an occupational date. I was getting all these dates from the agent, and follow changes to the date from the email that was being sent out by the lawyers from the developers, right? So ensure that that date is on the contract, so that you can have a leg to stand on when you go to the court of law, right? So there wasn't that. And also what I've learned is that if you are not, if you are not sure about this property, right? Once you sign the OTP, you're gonna lose a lot of money. For me, the 72% or the 7.2 was a lot of money, but you can lose way more than 7.2. Others, they lose close to 50,000 rand, because these lawyers, they can take you to court, and you're gonna even pay for them taking you to court. So once you sign an OTP, ensure that you are sure you're gonna buy this property, right? And yeah, and also, if you are buying your first property, what's also important, or what I've learned from all this, is which for me, I had already made a good choice. I bought something that didn't have transfer duty. So if it's above $1 million, there's transfer duty that you have to budget for. Then there's the registration fee that you have to budget for. The bond, when they give you the bond, you have to also pay the bond origination. So it's a fee. It's about 7,000 rand depending on how much your bond is. So you also have to pay those upfront. So before you go and look for houses, ensure that you have saved enough money to pay for these initial costs that they want to cost you. And also, when you're looking at what you'll pay for your bond, or if you look at your affordability, look at how much you'll pay for the bond, look at the rates and taxes for that place that you're going to be staying at, look at the insurances for that property, look at utilities, how much utilities you'll need for that property, because all these small costs, they add up to a very huge number, and it may take your affordability out, right? So ensure that all these things, you have done your research and you know how much you are willing to pay for them, so that you don't end up staying in a house that you only afforded to pay for the bond. The other costs you never accounted for and you cannot afford to pay for them. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you guys in this video. I hope you liked it. Please like, please subscribe. Let's keep talking about all our wins, our fails, and everything in between. Love you lots. I will see you guys on the next video.